Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we have someone really amazing, Niamh Kromo, who I met around 7 or 8 years ago now at the School of Byron Katie. She's a mindset coach and she's a mother of 3 who also works with couples but separately. And so I'll let Niamh talk a bit more about how she works and why she does what she does. And then we'll talk a bit more about the law of attraction, about energy and vibration, the difference between the idea of a relationship and the reality of one. So just quickly introduce yourself, Niamh. Really lovely to have you here.
Thanks, Andrea. It's really great to be here and to connect with you again. So yeah, like you said, I'm a mindset coach, but recently I've been preferring the title a Life Upleveler.
Life Upleveler?
Yeah. It's about bringing clients to the next level, bringing anybody that I work with to help them identify what it is that they really want. It could be a better relationship or our relationship, or in their work or with their health, whatever it is, wherever they want to up level, I help them to figure out a plan to do that. And most of all, help them to work through their limiting beliefs, because that's usually what stops us from getting there. So that's what I do in a nutshell. I also have something called the Growth Mindset Academy. I'm a big fan of mindset and growth mindset. So I run a 6-week online program, which is running at the moment.
Fantastic. So how, doing what you do, how has that helped couples? You said you've worked with couples separately, and how does that work?
Yeah, it's really powerful. So when I work with couples, we meet together on Skype or in person, depending. And then we have the first call together, and we share a little bit about what they want to achieve. And then we do a lot of individual sessions where they will work through what's called a Judge Your Neighbor worksheet in the Work of Byron Katie, where they judge each other and question those beliefs, and then look at them from a very different perspective and get really clear about what it is they want from their relationship and what it is they want from themselves. It's a lot of, and the reason I work with clients separately is it's a lot of inner work, because the happier that we are inside us, then we have less need from the other in the relationship. We're less dependent on them for our happiness. So that's why I prefer to work with them separately. And we do check-ins then, and definitely at the end we check back in. At the end it's a 12-week program.
Fantastic. So as you know, I work with single women who are looking for love, and a lot of them feel desperate, especially if they want to settle down and start a family of their own. And one of the main issues that I come across is that they're feeling lonely, and they believe that a man is going to complete them, is going to fill them up, give them everything that they need.
Yeah, I love that topic, and I remember that kind of emptiness, and it doesn't feel good, and it's part of life. It's part of what I believe everyone experiences at some stage. And I do remember that, before I did any kind of mindset work on myself, wanting, needing a man to take that pain away, which is very, very dangerous, because when we're doing that, we're depending on somebody else to basically kind of medicate our pain, and that might sound a little bit dramatic, but it's the reality, because when we get into a relationship and we feel really good at the start, the honeymoon phase, it's always great. And then reality hits when we realize they're not this savior, or they're not this rescuer, and darn it, they're not. And we get really annoyed because they're not actually showing up as we want them to show up. And we have these, when I work with clients, we have these needs for them to be different than they are. And bottom line, I think, is really don't go into a relationship to medicate that pain. Deal with it and get to know yourself first, and be happy in your own skin before seeking out a relationship, because a relationship might solve it in the short term, but long term, you're still going to have some uneasy emotions that come through. There's no relationship that's plain sailing.
So what do you suggest then if it's not that they stop looking for this particular guy to learn to love themselves, how do you suggest they do that?
The most important thing, I think, is to just find what lights you up personally, and just be all you can be yourself, rather than, I think that has to be the priority, because with relationships, the reality is that, there's always going to be challenges in relationships, but the more connected we are with ourselves, the more confident we are in ourselves, the less reliant and dependent that we are on a partner. So if you want to have that healthy relationship, you know, you might attract the ideal partner, but to have a healthy relationship, the healthier that you are inside, it's an inside job. The better the quality of the relationship is going to be. So do the inner work and find your purpose. You know, sometimes we forget about that, you know, when we're with a partner, and we forget who we are. And also journaling is very powerful. It's required for anybody that works with me to journal. It's about getting to know ourselves and falling in love with ourselves. So that would be my suggestion, you know, that anybody wanting, you know, that feels that need for somebody to fill that gap, that's dangerous. Don't go there. Fill the gap yourself. Feel happy in your own skin first, and find out what it is that basically what helps you to grow, because we're just like nature. We're just like this tree in the background. You know, a tree, it grows. You know, that's naturally what happens. Yeah. And for us too, it's our natural state is growth. And if we're not growing, or if we're depending on somebody else for our happiness, then we're going to wither, basically. So find ways that challenge yourself to grow. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So I always encourage people to stretch outside your comfort zone with growth for yourself. So it's basically finding your own purpose.
I love that. I love that. So tell me more about your ideas on vibration and energy, because a lot of the women I work with, I go into that with them about changing their frequency, and when that happens, then these amazing guys all start to come, and it's like magic.
Yeah, it is magic. Yeah, it's so powerful. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of vibrations and energies and all of that magic. I do a very powerful exercise called, well, actually in week 1 of the Growth Mindset Academy, we covered that. What is it that you really want? What is the vision that you want? So for example, I want this really gorgeous guy who likes to do whatever hobbies I like, loves gardening, loves mountain climbing, whatever. You know, write it all down, and then act as if it's already in your reality. So feel into imagining that you have that person, you know, believing that they're there. You know, if we can, you know, think of that possibility, then it does exist out there somewhere. So it's a case of matching our vibration with that idea that we have. So obviously it's not just, you know, manifesting and in our mind visualizing that partner. You know, it's also, we've got to take action in that direction, right? You know, hang out with mountain climbers or gardeners or whatever it is, you know. It's 2 things, but the more we turn our attention towards that and affirm, and what I like to do is gratitude journaling. I'm so happy and grateful that this amazing relationship is in my life, and I always like to say, like, mutually respectful and uplifting relationship is in my life. And when you talk about vibration, being in high vibration, we're in a much better position to attract what it is that we want into our lives. So gratitude is huge for raising our vibration and doing things that light us up, that give us joy, because much more powerful place to call what it is that we want into our life.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what would your advice be to single women looking for love, you know, and they're struggling at the moment? If there was 2 or 3 key things that you learned on your experience along the way, you know, being a mom, relationships.
Yeah. So let me address first, because the woman and her biological clock ticking. That's you know, why nature did that to the woman and not to the man, I don't know. But that can be a tricky one, you know, that you know, when you really want to have a child, and, you know, it puts pressure on the on you know, looking for that mate, for that partner. And so the work of Byron Katie I find really effective for that. You know, when you're being needy and needing that to happen, you're coming from a stressful, needy place. So definitely I would trust and let go. You know, it doesn't mean don't seek out that partner still, but without the stress attached to it. You know, a question I would ask my client is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how stressful does that feel for you? You know, that need to find a partner now. And if they say, 10, well, that's, you know, definitely that's a red flag. It's like, okay, let's work on letting go of that need for you to, because it's not a good space to be looking for a relationship from. So when you're relaxed and not so needy and more trusting and comfortable in your own skin, it's a more powerful place to look for a partner for that. So
have you found some women or men struggle with the idea of letting go of the need because they feel, if I let go of the need, then it's not going to happen?
Yeah, totally. And that is the big fear, that it's not going to. So what I do is I help them to, it's questions from the Work of Byron Katie. How do you react when you're believing that thought? I need a partner right now, like imminently. And take them through just noticing how they are with that need, how they treat every man they see.
Yes.
How their thoughts are preoccupied with that during the day, how they possibly even tense up in their bodies, or feel like, what thoughts go through their mind, like I'm not good enough without a man, or I'm less than, or, and looking at, those crazy thoughts that aren't true, that what we do to ourselves when we're believing that we need, urgently to have a partner. So then on question 4 in the Work of Byron Katie, who would you be without the thought that I need to attract this partner right now? They'll notice then that they're a lot more calm and centered without that real desperation, with that real strong need to attract that partner into their life. So I really encourage them to sit with that and meditate on it, and really imagine what it's like without the need. Notice the freedom in that, because if no matter what it is in our lives, if we have a need for something in our lives, there's no freedom in it. There's a kind of a desperation. So letting go of that, we're free to be, and much better place to attract a partner from, because we don't want to attract a partner who's also needy and controlling, right? So if we're free, we'll attract somebody else who's free and who will give us space to fully be ourselves. And so very, very powerful work. So I would definitely encourage, that would be tip number 1, to encourage any woman to first really let go of that urgency and be a lot more calm and centered. And just with the Work of Byron Katie, the turnarounds is the next part of the process, and that's where you look at, how is it as true that I don't need to attract a partner into my life, and look at real life evidence of, well, actually I can still wake up joyfully, I don't need that. I can still, if I choose, I can still do the things I love to do. I can still be healthy. I can still, all the things, to notice all the things we can do without that partner, so that urgency is less strong from that place. By the way, the Work of Byron Katie, for people that are watching this and aren't familiar with it, www.thework.com is where you'd go to find out that process that I've just kind of explained.
Such a powerful tool, incredibly powerful tool. Yeah, amazing. And so what would you say about a woman who's looking for an ideal match?
For an ideal match? Well, the more specific, I would say in anything, not just in relationships, in anything, the more specific that we are with what we want, the better the chances of that showing up in our lives. Create a vision board, and really with all the attributes that we'd like that partner to have. Mike Dooley wrote so many books, but Leveraging the Universe, 7 Steps to Engaging Life's Magic. I have it somewhere here, but it really does work, to get very specific. The universe is listening all the time. We are co-creating with the universe. So for anybody, wanting that partner, just let the universe know. I mean, I remember hearing before that the universe wants it more than we even want it. So, when we believe that, and, really engage that magic, with it and co-create with it, then magic happens. So daily journaling again, I'm so happy and grateful that I think writing that, and without that desperation and that need, just being really careful and mindful about that, I'm so happy and grateful, and I'm also so happy and grateful for everything else in my life.
Yes, because that just being happy and grateful for what you do have is going to change your vibration, is going to change your frequency, isn't it? It's inevitable. And attracting something good back into your life.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I definitely think, also just to call it in as if it already happened, to say I'm so happy and grateful that I have this partner in my life. What I recommend is to journal for like 15, 20 minutes, 25 minutes even, and then 5 minutes visualization at the end.
And daily, to do that daily.
Yes. Yeah, there's a book called Creative Visualization by Shakti Gawain, and she explains very well how to visualize and why. It's so powerful. It's not just a gimmick. It really, really works.
Fantastic. And so, is there just one final words that you'd like to say to the single ladies who are looking for love? Any advice you give as a mindset coach?
Trust, trust that people and situations, whatever is coming into your life, is for a reason. There's no coincidences. Everything in life is happening for us, not to us. So trust it all and enjoy the magic.
Thank you so much, Niamh. Thank you so much for that. It was really wonderful advice.
You're welcome,
Andrea.
Andrea.
So let people know, how can they find you and what's the best way to contact you?
So the best way is I'm very active in a Facebook group. I've got a Facebook group called The Growth Mindset Group.
Okay, I'll put a link below.
Yeah. Thanks. That's the Growth Mindset Group. And then there's the Academy, which is a paid online group program, which is super. I've got 41 people in there.
Oh, wow.
Fantastic community, really beautiful people.
Yeah.
So if they want to go even further and use some of the tools that, for manifesting and for doing that inner work, that's inside the Growth Mindset Academy. But the very first place would be the Growth Mindset Group, and they can just private message me from there. And of course I have a website, which is www.niamhk.com, and Niamh is an Irish name. It's spelled Niamh.
Yeah.
So it's niamhk.com. That's my website.
Okay.
If anybody wants to work with me privately, all the details of my programs are on there.
And so with the Academy, is that for a particular purpose? Is it for business? Or?
It's for anybody who wants to grow their minds and basically up-level, take their business, their health, their relationships, anything, their lives to the next level. So what we do in week 1 is set a goal, create a vision of what do we really want? What do we really want? It's a question I recommend, and that was advised to me by one of my mentors, David Nagel, to ask that question every day. What do you really, truly want? And, the closer we are to that, then the happier the life we're going to be, basically, and turning our attention towards creating that. Actually, I can tell you just briefly, so week 1 of the 6-week online Growth Mindset Academy, week 1 is about creating your vision. Week 2 is getting very specific, creating a plan to achieve the vision, and calendaring, getting down to the practical aspects. Weeks 3 and 4 are all around identifying any limiting beliefs that would prevent you from getting there. Typical beliefs: fear of success, fear of failure, fear of what other people will think, huge ones. Week 5 is money mindset, which is fascinating.
Huge. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. And week 6 is about raising your vibration, really consciously turning your attention towards raising your vibration and upping that happy vibe, feeling more joy and spreading the joy, spreading the love.
I love it.
Yeah, it's great. I love it too. I love it. I love the community as well. Private Facebook group, really great.
Thank you. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you've gained value from this interview as well, and all her details will be below, so contact her anytime for support that Niamh offers. And for now, I'll say goodbye. Bye.
Thanks, Andrea.